Students, now we are going to discuss ionic equilibrium. Ionic equilibrium में आज बेसिक सा कुछ पार्ट पढ़ेंगे. स्टार्ट हम करेंगे फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स. आयोनिक इक्विलिब्रियम में हमें कंसेप्ट होना चाहिए इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स का. व्हाट आर इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स, व्हाट आर स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स एंड व्हाट आर वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स. Now what are electrolytes? Electrolytes are the substances. These are substances which ionize or dissociate into ions in aqueous medium. मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे पास में एक कोई भी एक्वस मीडियम है, दिस इज एक्वस मीडियम. इसमें हम कोई भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट डाल देंगे, दिस इज इलेक्ट्रोलाइट इन इट. अगर ये सब्सटेंस डिसोसिएट हो गया आयन्स में, फॉर एग्जांपल A प्लस B नेगेटिव B नेगेटिव A प्लस आयन्स में, तब हम इसको इलेक्ट्रोलाइट कहेंगे. इलेक्ट्रोलाइट इज दैट सब्सटेंस which in aqueous solution dissociates into ions, which gives ions. Now what is the tendency of this substance to dissociate into ions? How much of the substance will dissociate into ions? Depending upon that, we have different types of electrolytes, those which are known as strong electrolytes and those which are known as weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes are those which dissociate, which ionize completely, that means 100% ionization. And weak electrolytes are those which dissociate feebly, which dissociate to a small extent. Now, on the basis of their ionization, on the basis of their dissociation in water, we have two types of electrolytes. These electrolytes may be strong electrolytes, they may be strong electrolytes, and they may be weak electrolytes. These electrolytes may be weak electrolytes. Now, strong electrolytes are those which dissociate almost completely, which ionize almost completely, means 100% dissociation, means 100% ionization. 100% ionization. For them, percentage of ionization is 100%. They dissociate completely into ions. Now, what are examples of these? Examples are strong acids, strong bases, strong bases. Now, what are strong acids and strong bases? Which examples? Group first hydroxides, group first hydroxides and group second hydroxides. Group first and group second hydroxides. For example, NaOH. For example, KOH. For example, MgOH whole twice. For example, CaOH whole twice. These are group second hydroxides. They are all strong bases. They are strong electrolytes. They dissociate completely in aqueous solution. They dissociate completely to give sodium positive ion and OH negative ion, for example. 100% dissociation, therefore equilibrium cannot be maintained in that case, because this sodium hydroxide dissociates completely into forward direction, sodium positive and OH negative. And strong acids. Now let us take examples of certain strong acids. We have HCl, we have H2SO4. These are examples of strong acids. Or you should remember certain weak acids, and except those, almost all are strong. For example, H3BO3, this is a weak acid. H2CO3, carbonic acid, this is a weak acid. HF, it's a weak acid. HCl, it's a weak acid. CH3COOH, acetic acid, organic acids, these are weak acids. And except these, almost all acids are strong acids. These acids undergo 100% ionization. These undergo feebly ionize in aqueous solution. Now, strong electrolytes are those electrolytes which completely dissociate into ions. Completely means 100% dissociation. If they completely dissociate into ions, equilibrium cannot be maintained in that cases. And strong electrolytes are also examples of these strong electrolytes are salts of strong acids and strong bases. Strong acid and strong base. Salt made from strong acid and strong base. For example, HCl, NaOH. We get salt from this, that's NaCl. This NaCl is a strong electrolyte. Why? Because it is made up of, it's a salt of strong acid and strong base. Now what about weak electrolytes? Weak electrolytes are those substances which ionize only to a small extent. Which ionize only to a small extent. Which ionize to a less extent. To a less extent. They are feebly dissociated in aqueous solution. The examples of these weak electrolytes are weak acids, weak bases, all other bases except group first and group second, weak bases, and salts made up of strong acid, weak acid, strong base, and salts which are not made up of strong acid, strong base. Now what are weak bases? They are bases except those of hydroxides, except group first and group second, generally. For example, ammonium hydroxide, this is not a member of group first, it will be a weak base. Weak acids, I have quoted certain examples: HF, H2CO3, H3BO3, and we have HCN. These are examples of weak acids. Now, up to now we have discussed for better understanding of ionic equilibrium, we should have concept of electrolytes. Electrolytes are those substances when dissolved in aqueous solution, they ionize into ions. Now, depending upon the extent of ionization, we have two types of electrolytes. Strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes are those which completely dissociate into ions, 100% dissociate into ions. That means we cannot attain equilibrium in case of strong electrolytes. And weak electrolytes, on the other hand, dissociate to a small extent, means an equilibrium can be established. In this chapter, we will discuss these weak electrolytes. Now, the first law that is applicable to these weak electrolytes is very important. That's Ostwald dilution law. इस लॉ का हम इस यूनिट में बार बार इस्तेमाल करेंगे, बार बार यूज करेंगे, बहुत ज़्यादा यूज करेंगे, बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है. ओस्टवाल्ड डाइल्यूशन लॉ बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट लॉ है. ओस्टवाल्ड डाइल्यूशन लॉ बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट लॉ है, वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट. ओस्टवाल्ड डाइल्यूशन लॉ. Now, Ostwald dilution law number first, it is applicable to, this law is applicable to weak electrolytes. This is applicable to weak electrolytes. That is weak acids, that's weak bases, salts made up of these combinations. Weak electrolytes. It's applicable to weak electrolytes. Number second, this law relates equilibrium constant K. This law relates equilibrium constant K with degree of dissociation, with degree of ionization or dissociation, and concentration of electrolyte. Concentration of electrolyte. Law is applicable to weak electrolytes. Law gives relation between equilibrium constant, degree of ionization we represented by alpha, and concentration of electrolyte, that is C. There will be relation between K, alpha and C. Let us apply this law to weak electrolyte. Let us consider a weak electrolyte, for example acetic acid. If this weak electrolyte is dissolved in aqueous solution, what happens? We get acetate ions and we get H positive ions. Why? Because this bond breaks, they give H positive ions. Now let the concentration, initial concentration at time t is equal to 0. Let the concentration of this acetic acid is C. Let it is the concentration, let C number of moles per unit volume of solution. C is the molarity of the solution, C is the molarity of the acetic acid, C is the concentration of the acetic acid. Let's see the concentration of the acetic acid at the beginning of the reaction. At the start of the reaction, there will be no amount of acetate formed, no amount of H positive formed, because T is equal to 0. Reaction has not happened. This is 0, this is 0. But after a certain time T is equal to T seconds, what happens? Some part of this gets ionized, this gets dissociated into S state and H positive ion. Once this begins to be formed, because this is not this is slow dissociation, this is weak dissociation, this is not 100% dissociated. This again begins to form the reactant, that's acetic acid, and equilibrium can be established. Now see, some part of this after a certain time gets dissociated. Some part of acetic acid after a certain time gets dissociated to form this and this. Let that part which gets dissociated, let that part is alpha. C alpha is the part which gets dissociated. इस C में से कुछ कंसेंट्रेशन आयनाइज होके डिसोसिएट होगी, प्रोडक्ट की तरफ जा रही है. लेट दैट इज C अल्फा. अगर इसमें से C अल्फा कम होता है तो यहाँ कितना बनेगा C अल्फा, यहाँ कितना बनेगा C अल्फा. सोचो, अगर यहाँ पे इनिशियल कंसेंट्रेशन C थी, C अल्फा इसमें से घट रहा है तो यहाँ कितना रह गया C minus C अल्फा. The part that remains over here is C minus C alpha. And here what is formed C alpha? This is formed C alpha. This is equilibrium state. Now at this equilibrium state we can apply law of mass action. Law of mass action will determine equilibrium constant, that is K. This will be equal to concentration of the product is at equilibrium. At equilibrium concentration of product is C alpha and concentration of this product is C alpha and concentration of reactant is C into C minus C alpha. This is concentration of reactant at equilibrium. Now इसी लॉ को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम क्या करेंगे, Ostwald dilution law. Now see, K will be equal to equilibrium constant will be equal to C into C, that is C square, alpha into alpha, that is alpha square, divided by C into C minus alpha. अगर यहाँ से C को बाहर निकालेंगे then it remains C into 1 minus alpha, that is C minus C alpha. Now see, C and C will get cancelled. What remains over here? Alpha square divided by 1 minus alpha is equal to K. This is one form of Ostwald dilution law, where K is ionization constant or dissociation constant or equilibrium constant of this weak acid. Alpha is the degree of ionization, how much of this acetic acid is ionized. Alpha is degree of ionization or dissociation. Degree of ionization, or we can call it dissociation. It is the degree of dissociation. बहुत बार हमें ये यूज करना पड़ेगा इस यूनिट में. This Ostwald dilution law. Alpha is the degree of dissociation. K is equilibrium constant. Now see, ये हमारे पास में कौन सा इलेक्ट्रोलाइट था? वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट था. इसकी डिग्री ऑफ dissociation कितनी थी? Very small. If the degree of dissociation is small, that's alpha is small. For weak electrolytes, what's alpha? Alpha is small. For weak electrolytes, alpha is small. If our alpha is small, then in the denominator we can neglect this. It becomes very small compared to 1. It is very small compared to 1. Alpha is very small, hence alpha can be neglected in the denominator. Therefore, this K becomes equal to, this is C alpha square divided by 1, that is C alpha square. Now we can, this is another form of Ostwald dilution law. We can use this equation like this. We can determine alpha from it. Alpha square is equal to K by C. If you know constant, equilibrium constant, you know concentration, you can determine alpha. Or alpha is equal to root K by C. You can determine degree of dissociation using Ostwald dilution law. This is alpha is degree of dissociation. Using this law, you can determine degree of dissociation. Now see, what is C? What is this? C equal to, C is equal to concentration. C is equal to concentration. Concentration is equal to number of moles per unit volume of solution in liters. Now see, if we have one number of mole, if the number of moles is 1, then it will be equal to 1 by V. C will be equal to 1 by V. Substituting over here, alpha square is equal to K into C will be 1 by V. This will be divided by 1 by V. Or alpha square will be equal to K into V. If we know the volume and the number of moles is only 1, then this formula can be applied. alpha is equal to K into V. This is root of. This is other form of Ostwald dilution law. These are all forms of Ostwald dilution law from which questions are usually asked. Let us solve a particular simple question. Let us solve a question. The question over here is the 0.1 molar, a 1.0 molar question from Ostwald dilution law. A 1.0 molar HCl is 0.0001% ionized. Determine its dissociation constant K. Determine its dissociation constant K. Now we know that K is equal to C alpha square. C is concentration of HCl, that's 1.0. 1.0, that's 1. This is 1. Concentration C is equal to 1 molar. Now what is given? Alpha is given. Alpha is equal to 0.0001%. Percent means divided by 100. Now it will be equal to 1 divided by 100 into 1, 2, 3, 4. 10,000. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 divided by 10 raised to power 6. That is 10 raised to power minus 6. Alpha will be equal to 10 raised to power minus 6. Now substitute the value. This is 1 into 10 raised to power minus 6 into 10 raised to power minus 6. That will be equal to 10 raised to power minus 12. This will be the answer. It will be equal to 10 raised to power minus 12. This is how you have to solve a question. You can determine alpha if you know K and C. Now in this case, determine alpha if the value of K is given. Now if K for this question is 10 raised to power minus 12 and C is 1 molar, determine alpha. Now we know that alpha is equal to K by C. Alpha square is equal to K by C, or alpha is equal to root K by C. C is 1, root K is under root of 12 divided by C. That is 1. And under root of 10 raised to power minus 12. That means root of this will be equal to 10 raised to power minus 6. This is alpha, degree of dissociation. You can determine degree of dissociation, or you can cross check your answer over here. This was a basic idea at Ostwald dilution law. To solve numericals on Ostwald dilution law, this law is very helpful because we will use again and again in this chapter this Ostwald's law to predict pH, pOH and other things using Ostwald dilution law. Even solubility product we use this law. Thanks for watching this video.